In earlier units, we learned about the three types of claims: frequency, association, and causal. We also learned that referring to the types of claims is a way to explain a lot about a research study in relatively few words. When we identify the type of claim involved, we're also identifying the purpose of the research, the number of variables involved, and the types of variables. Our first project focused on a frequency claim to provide practice with each steps in the process. This project will allow for a similar practice, but with a slightly more challenging purpose of investigating an association claim. That means we'll be measuring a second variable and making a prediction about the relationship between two variables. In previous units, we've also referenced the idea that research can investigate a question or a hypothesis. I have a feeling that idea is pretty straightforward, but want to make sure we note a few things about hypotheses. Both a question and a hypothesis identifies the variable of interest, but a hypothesis makes a specific prediction about the relationship between two or more variables, whereas a question simply asks if there is a relationship. Research questions and hypotheses are guided by previous research and theories. Questions might address a gap in those sources or extend the findings by asking about a new variable. Hypotheses make specific predictions given the findings from other work or relationships suggested by the theories. This process of logic is similar to what we discussed in earlier units when we talked about what we can learn from previous work. The idea of both the question or the hypothesis, though, is to guide research. While the hypothesis states a specific relationship, the idea isn't that it is a statement of fact. It's a prediction to be tested. When we write a hypothesis for an association claim, it can be tricky to avoid wording it as a causal claim. We obviously want to avoid using the word cause in a hypothesis for an association claim, but it's not always as easy as that. We also want to avoid phrases that suggest any sort of dependent relationship, such as if then or will when. One way to think about it is that the association hypothesis might feel a little more broad. Even if the direction of the relationship is predicted, it's framed by saying the variables are related or associated.